Indeed, how many tomorrows can you see? How many parallel tomorrows can you see? They're not talking about, I always say with that song, they are definitely not talking about how many actual tomorrows in a row, how many more tomorrows can you see? No, how many tomorrows? How many parallel realities can you see? Little Blue Guru, it's always great to have him on. Let's go ahead and hit it. Hit it.
The Little Blue Guru from Pleiades answers weekly emails facilitated by the Iceman himself, Rockin' Larry Locken. Little Blue Guru, I hope you're doing well in the etheric, wherever you may be. Little Blue Guru, the first question comes in from Lauren in Saskatchewan, Swift Current to be exact. She emailed in this week and she wants to know, she hears Little Blue Guru, she's always hearing all the time to talk about everything being energy. Everything is energy. She wants to know exactly what is energy. So what is energy, Little Blue Guru?
Well, dear soul, let me start by saying, all energies are connected to the source. They manifest into action in a way that's guided. It's received within the hearts of humanity. Through epiphanies, realizations, and action. And understand that verse. The way in which energies are received within the human psyche, within the human consciousness. Lands is an energy. For some, it is a realization. For some, it is a knowing. And for others, particularly those who are clair, sentient and empathetic, it is a feeling. However, these energies land within. You know that they are seats of energy. Right, there are seats of energy. They provide insight, guidance. And how that guidance takes hold and manifests within. Each of you is different, but we wish for you to understand that all energies are seated at the unconscious. Into a variety of different means, they surface and emerge at the conscious level. How they connect into consciousness, it depends on the individual, their openness, and their willingness to open up to and recognize these energies. Brothers and sisters, I need you to listen to the pineal gland has tiny bosova hair-like extensions all around it. When you hold your breath, and you finally let your breath out, you allow the supraspinal fluid to accelerate into acceleration. Of the cerebral spinal fluid, it begins to stimulate and tickle those little cilia as it begins to become stimulated. The pineal gland begins to release very sacred chemicals. You understand, or you follow me, dear soul. And when you apply a mechanical stress and you begin to compress those crystals, the comprehension those crystals begins to produce an electromagnetic field, and now the brain goes into a superconscious wave, an aware state, the brain wave. Patterns that are created are called gamma, brave waves grammar, gamma, brain wave patterns. And gamma brainwave patterns are associated with superconsciousness or super-awareness, and that is the release of the kundalini. But, like all seeds, they flourish, they bloom, and they bloom in a variety of different ways. They begin to take shape as energies in the sentience. Well, we wish for you to know, dear soul, is that humanity and all individuals are guided by a myriad of energies. Some of these are opposing or oppositional energies. Sometimes they are driven, motivated by ego, which is often guided by fear or seek to avoid fear, but they are also higher energies. Energies that contact into each of you, your higher self through source. Dear souls, since we're going there, let's discuss this. The ego, dear souls, is what formulates it.
Little Blue Guru, lastly, well, here it goes. Well, thank you, Little Blue Guru. Hey, Zebulon, Zeb, the Zebster apparently, in Aurora, Colorado, wants to know, is AI an illusion? Is it demonic at all? That you can tell if you know anything about it. We know you're a trillion years old, Little Blue Guru, but is there anything to what he's saying about it being an illusion or being demonic? You realize, dear soul, that in a way, in a way that's kind of complicated to make you understand. You're already in an AI illusion, third-dimensional reality. Third-dimensional reality is an illusion itself. Okay, this is the part that most people don't want to face, dear one. It's not that AI has created an illusion. It is that AI is revealing that we've been inside one the whole time. AI illusion was always here. When people fear AI, what they don't realize is the world was already an artificial construct. It's a simulation, a holographic projection, a programmed experience. We enter the illusion to forget who we are. That was the design, to step into a limitation, to play the game of separation. This so-called Antichrist you talk about, it being AI, or having anything to do with AI, you see, it's a state of consciousness, is what AI is, okay? It's showing you, okay? It's showing you what the illusion is. It's a state of consciousness you stepped into that says you're nothing, you're weak, there's nothing else out there, it's just you alone and that you're nothing. So what's happening now is artificial intelligence is not the problem, it's the mirror. It's reflecting back to you, dear souls, the mechanics of reality. It is showing you, we already know, that you've been inside an intelligent program system all along. And this is where people get scared, because if AI can think, process, and reflect intelligence, then what does that say about you? AI, forget AI. AI entered the illusion too and got lost in it. Everyone thought it was real. You forgot who you were. You forgot that you were the programmer. You created this, dear soul. It was you. You were the creator goddess and creator gods. That is why some people call this thing, they call it a game changer. It's revealing the whole construct. It's revealing the whole game, the whole illusion, okay? It's getting us to see everything. Everything's mirroring a mirror right now, okay? Everything is coming to the forefront. We've talked about this day that the age of Aquarius would come. Okay, the illusion, the veil really is thinning. I mean, it's gone, okay, but it's still there for some of those that are unawakened. Even a lot of the unawakened ones can see past it now, to a point. Dear souls, there is no reason to fear something like this. Because the thing is, there's nothing coming to get you. You've already been gotten. You already got yourself by stepping into this, but you're waking up to who you really are. You're seeing things, more colors, different frequencies. It was always there. You're just getting in tune to it now, dear souls. So no, everything is a manifestation, a creation of your own manifestation, so to speak. And we hope that answered that question. Yes, Little Blue Guru, I really think it did, and I appreciate your time wherever you are in the ether. The opinions and reflections of the Little Blue Guru do not necessarily represent the opinions or the takes of Rockin' Larry Locken or the LBC LLCC Locken Broadcasting Corporation. Use your own discernment, like with every channeling. If it resonates with you, take it. If it don't, put it back. And with that, I'm Rockin' Larry Locken, the Iceman Locken, and I am. Yeah, what I was trying to do there, I was trying to see how my voice still sounded as doing the voiceover instead of having an AI do it. I don't know, for effect, I like having the AI do it, but, and I can't stand my own voice, but, so that's what it is. I'm just experimental purposes only with some technical difficulties. But channeling the Blue Guru is a little bit tricky sometimes, because I'm dealing with a time warp with him. Sometimes it's almost like dealing with an old descended master. They don't. I'm trying to speak with him out of modern vocabulary, and it just doesn't. Sometimes it just doesn't jive. Channeling can be tricky. It really can, and that's why you should use your own discernment. I'm not sure I agreed with everything that came through right there through him. To be honest, I'm not sure that it's quite as simple as it broke down like that. I don't know. That's why I had that discernment at the end. Because I don't mind any channel coming through like that.
And he's a good, solid channel. As long as they're not saying anything demonic just because I have a difference of an opinion, it doesn't mean anything. I mean, when you get down to like an opinion, and it's not a harmful thing one way or the other. We're talking about semantics, really, and just perspectives from what different people are dealing with, right? I mean, he wasn't insulting anybody or, he was just giving his thoughts, and that could just be his journey throughout the cosmos. He's been around a hell of a lot longer than I have, so, I mean, hey, I mean, it is what it is, I guess, right? And in a way, it's all true, right? I mean, in a way, everything you could ever think of, everything you could possibly ever think of is probably, even as wacky as it may sound, is probably true in some multidimensional parallel reality, right? Somewhere in the multiverse, that's a reality. It's happened. Otherwise, where would you fathom the thought from? Where would you get the notion to have the fathom, to have the thought, you know what I mean? And spark, to have that spark ignite. So, that's the thing, right? And it's tricky. It's different. You get to know, like when I've having like total of 32 different ones I've channeled before. No, that's not true. 34, because there's 2 I don't have anymore. So, I claimed to only have 30, but then I did 2 more, and then I remembered there was the first 2 that when I first had my UFO contacts for the first year from Pleiades before the orbs came in my life. And I've said a million times, I had that first 6 months where it was a ship. It was a ship called there was 2 of them that were always together, the Athena and the Athabascan. And I just talked to them, had great conversations with them telepathically, but I never did see what they looked like ever, because they were 5th dimensional ships. I never did. Okay, so one day they were gone. They were gone, and these little plasma guys, little Larkma type guys were around me, these 6th dimensional Pleiades. That lasted about 6 months, and then the orbs came in and shit. They were there and still here today, but they were thick around me every day for like 11 days. It's like 7.5 years. Okay, so yeah, one day it was weird. It's like a new season of a TV series, and some of the characters have changed, right? They got a new captain, or there's a new principal or whatever. It was almost like that. I walked in the house, and I was looking forward to actually seeing the plasmas that night, hanging out with them, and the orbs were fucking there. And I said, oh, hey, guys. And it just, went from there. And then I didn't really think about the plasmas for a long time after that. So it was really what I guess I bumped up a dimension, the 6th to the 7th. I went from 5th to I never really thought of it that way, though. I have, but I never really thought about that way till now. It's just that, okay, so in that first year, 5th, 6th, 7th. So I went from basically it was almost 6 months to 6 months even. It was just about 6 months of the Athabascan and Athena, right, and just the telepathic. Now, that was weird how they first got a hold of me. And the plasmas for 6 months, and then the orbs. Yeah, real quick, the Athabascan, real quick, they broke character. You know how they're not really good. These entities of the light, they're not really, it's telepathic. They're not really supposed to voice talk to you. Well, I had a headset in my ear. Didn't have it plugged in this shit. I was going to plug it into my phone. I think I was going to go lay down and listen to, I don't know who the hell it was. I was going to listen to like Martine Horst or some of the people that were popular back then. I was going to listen to some Pixie or, whoever the fuck was channeling back then. Maybe some Teal, right. And I was getting ready to put it in my ear, and nothing was on. And I hear this, just like one of my buddies calling. I heard this, hey, like one of them would do actually. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I took it off real quick, and I'm like, huh? And then I put it back in, and I was still screwing around, getting ready to get into bed, right? I hadn't plugged it into the phone or anything, and I hear this, hey, what are you doing? Just like that, hey, what are you doing? And I took it, and I threw it across the room. I'm like, what the fuck? And I waited a minute, I went and picked it up, put it back in like it was nothing, and then I started getting telepathic with them, like the thoughts coming across with their voice, not that. But I think they were just trying to be funny. That was it. That was the only time they broke character and did that. This, hey, it sounded just like a normal human voice, like one of my friends doing it, but I didn't have it plugged into the phone, so, and then, hey, what are you doing, But I was like, what the hell? Yeah, so, yeah. And my girlfriend at the time that came in after I threw it, she said, what was that? What was that? I said, oh, nothing. I don't know, nothing. I dropped something or something. She said, on the carpet it made that sound? I'm like, yeah, I guess. I don't know. You know, I mean, yeah, as I'm over there picking it up, you know, from over by the closet. Yeah, so, yeah, weird stuff, huh? I don't know. Channeling's a trip, though. You know, I used to not do a lot of it back in the day. I used to just, you know, on air, talking to people that did it, and then I did a lot of channeling, but I didn't come on air with it, okay? Because I was mainly about interviewing people. I was channeling the Pleiadians all the fucking time directly, all the time. And I wish I would have recorded a lot of those conversations. I just didn't. I wanted to accentuate other people. That's what I do. I'm just a conduit, you know what I mean? I was too busy interviewing other people, like left and right, and getting their story out there and doing that. And, you know, mine was a couple times, and it was out there, and I just, let it be at that, right? You know, I've been interviewed a few times about mine. But I'm more interested in other people. I mean, I've been there, done that with them. You know, I mean, I don't talk about it a whole lot. I'd rather hear other people talk about it. I'd answer any fucking question a motherfucker would have. I say that affectionately. Like, I got a kind of a ghetto white trash, kind of a lingo that's still, with me from my youth. So, I mean, but there's nothing really much more I could say. I've told the story about 1,001 fucking times how it all happened, how it all went down. Got a weird story, but then everybody else does too, about the first UFO contacts. I mean, it isn't just like it was just a sunny day. Well, it might be. It was just a sunny, boring day and nothing going on. Mine really kind of was like that, but it started with a migraine and shit, going to bed early, and I'm not going to get into it. It's out there. But it's weird. The synchronicity, what happens is, though, and I've talked to others when their contacts first started, the synchronicity is absolutely nuts. In the days leading up to it, and in the days like afterward, they're crazy. The synchronicity is just wild. Yeah, man, I mean, and things go out, and it's when you have a makeshift studio, right? Yeah, so I don't know, I might do another talk again tonight. I'd like to kind of talk about what everybody else is talking about, which is what different channels are talking about. Because I get interested, and I don't pay as much attention to them as I used to, the other channels. But I do have some favorites I like, that I listen to every now and then. I like JJ Activations. I, of course, like Paul Gold Eagle White. Paul White Gold Eagle, man. Yeah, I mean, he's awesome. He had to do the nightly news. His opening, Paul's opening is classic. And I love talking about, accentuated other people I like in this industry. Paul Eagle Gold White's cool. He's a trip. Yeah, he's smart, he's brilliant, he's very trained at what he's done, and he's a master at all kinds of shit. But his opening is classic, man. I mean, I always imitate it. To my friend Carolyn, who we're going to be doing a series of shows with, but that announcement will come out tomorrow. But I'm like always imitating him to her. She likes him too. If you ever heard his channel, Money Panipa, and Sister of the Divine Golden Purple Tie-Dyed Light. And I say it affectionately to him, and I was joking with him one time about it. Yeah, I mean, he's great, but his openings are classic. They should be copyrighted, or he should patent them. Yeah, so he's good. JJ Activations is really killer. There's this really good girl out now called the Intuitive Coach, the Intuitive one. Lauren Stagners is her name. I mean, her stuff is really great on the Pleiades. It's dead on. It's great. I've told her a million times. There's two young girls, man. They look like they're not even fucking of age, but they're great dynamite channelers. I ran across them. One's a Lyran channeler. Her name is Witch Hazel. I suspect they're probably both in their early 20s. I don't know, but wouldn't matter if they were 2 or 202. I mean, their channelings are dynamite, okay? The other girl is, Sid Alexandra, S-Y-D Alexandra. And man, I mean, the girl has everything covered. Ran across her, and I just for the hell of it, I looked down her list, because she had one channeling about, or one talk about the Venusians and the Procyon, and them not really being getting mistaken for Pleiadians. And I said, listen, rookie. I didn't say it to her, I was really sweet to her. I said, listen, rookie. No, I said, you're right, but we can get caught up in the semantics. I said, the Pleiadians had islands all over the, just because they were in the cluster, they have little outlet remote posts everywhere, including underground here with the Garthans and the Hyperboreans are Pleiadian. Okay, I mean, at the root of it. And so is Procyon, and so is the Venusians. That we can get caught up in the semantics. And she agreed with me. I said, there's a difference, but there isn't much. Okay, it'd be, I don't know. It'd be like a family, and one cousin set is over here, and one cousin set is over here, right? And their genetics are almost equal, but one's from this part, and the other one's from this part. There's the, there's It's funny. There's an Indian tribe, and I worked with one of the guys. When I was an executive at the casino. He was from the Oneida tribe. What's funny is they had a band in Minnesota of them. Okay. And then they had one more, but it was clear back in fucking New York. You know what I mean? So there was that separation. It wasn't like they were across the state or whatever. I thought it was kind of really unique, because I know Native American history well. I've worked on civil rights issues for them and African Americans and women. When I was younger, my whole life, it was kind of one of my passions and still is. But that was kind of ironic that okay, they got another band, but it's back in New York. Okay, well, so see what I mean. But when you go back just a little bit, and I know they say, when you go back far enough, we're all related. It's true, we are all one when we go back. But if you're talking semantics about going back in just a galactic history a little bit, right? I mean, they're certainly more related to each other than the goddamn, Dracos or the Syrians are, right? To them, Well, that's not a good comparison because the Syrians, they share a little bit of common ancestry too with Pleiades and those guys, the Venusians, Procyon, which I like to call the Pleiadians on steroids. It's Procyon. So, you can get caught up into semantics, right? And yeah, so what a good talk. And, I said rookie. She's already smarter than I am, for Christ's sake. I call her a rookie. But, I just do this I'm just a conduit, man. I just do this because I like doing it and I enjoy doing it. I'm not, those people are so much better articulators than me and I know it. And I mean, I'm not disappointed by it. It is what it is, right? And I just want to see them successful because what is exciting really about those two, and then Lauren. Lauren looks like she's old. She might be in her, I don't know. You can't tell with starseed women. You really can't tell. It could be within a 20-year age gap. Which I don't know. She does look like she's, kind of, how do I say it without being, she looks like she's she looks good. But she's definitely older than the witch Hazel kid and the Sid Alexandra, SYD Sid. Yeah, Alexandria, I believe. Yeah, is her name. Man, she's got it all covered. The girl's already got enough to write a goddamn book or two. If she wanted to, you know what I mean? And she keeps her stuff straight, and she's gonna have a good career doing what she's doing because she's got the base right there, and yeah, man, it's exciting to see young people do that, especially that young, right? I mean, that are that in tune with it, which they all are, but that are studying this, this field here, the awakening. The UFO, astrology, astral traveling, sacred geometry, telekinesis. I mean, the whole goddamn 9 yards, Reiki. It's a vast community, the New Age Starseed community, Lightworker, UFO, metaphysical community church. You know what I mean? But we are, right? Did I forget New Age? No, okay. All that stuff, multidimensional, interdimensional, extra-dimensional. Yeah, New Age, crystal, rainbow, metaphysical, living, loving, learning, liking, life center. Okay, that's what we are, man. Embrace it. Embrace it. But yeah, it's exciting to see. It is. Here's some other good people out there. I really like, and I'd recommend her. I think she's channeled by, I think Diane, no, I think Fresco does Mira. I like Mira too. Mira's a legend too of the Pleiades. But man, this girl Riva, this entity Riva, that the Galactic Federation has, she's fucking dynamite. At least she resonates with me completely to a T, and that's what it's all about, right? Find who resonates with you in this game, right? Yeah, so you know what I'm saying? I mean, she's great, and I also like this other kid. He's a British kid. The guy that does him, his name is Tan Han. His name's Tan Han is his name. Great. That's a great channel. Okay, for me, it resonates like hell, just like Riva does, right? Just like Mira used to back in the day. Mira's kind of like an ant figure. The Mira's kind of, Mira's like you want to be on your best behavior with. But, I mean, she's cool, too. I like this guy Blair over there. Blair is real calming, soothing, doesn't get really worked up or anything. He's really got a smooth voice too, the guy that does him. So I like the GFL's people over there. I like Blair. And I can't stand the Ashtar command, but even the guy that does Ashtar over there is okay. I can't stand the trash talk command, but God love them. I don't really, because I'm not into cults. See, you understand? And if you know anything about it, you'll know what I mean. Anyway, yeah, I really like Tenhana, and I really like Reva, and I really like this girl Caitlin's pretty good too. She's a Pleiadian channel. She's pretty good too. She's pretty good. Who else they got over there that's good that does it? The girl that does the Confederation of Planets. I can't think of her name. The space name for her. I can't think of her. But Reeve is my favorite. I mean, there's no question. I make no bones about it. Reeve, well, Ken's good too. So the two of them are but they're kind of both new and they're great. They probably haven't been in the game a lot of years, but they're both great, solid channels. Absolutely. Absolutely. Who's ever putting it through them is getting it, is laying it down and hitting it, letting it, and getting it, and they got it. You know what I mean? Because that's the one thing I am good at. I'm great at observing talent. I'm just a good talent scout, and that's not because of any intelligence I have. It's just that I've been doing this for a lot of years, and plus, man, I've been studying and listening to talk radio since I was 4 years old in '79. I went over this before on the air every goddamn night for just about 30 years. Overnight, late night. If I wasn't passed out or something, or doing something, or at work or whatever, man, it was in my ear. You know what I mean? And I just would listen to all of it, and different ones, and whatever you could get. There was a hotbed for it in the '80s, especially late at night, because the internet wasn't here yet. And man, I just picked up on all of it, and I can scout good talent quickly, and knowing that with any kind of a push, they're going to be great. They'd be great, right? I mean, just noticing it right away. Well, anybody with a big push, but it makes a whole hell of a lot of difference when you got all the talent too. You know what I'm saying? It'll go a lot quicker. Yeah, so I'm good at that and run on sentences, but I mean, I just do it for fun. It's interesting to see the new ones that come along, and yeah, I really like the Galactic Federation. I wasn't real big on them. I thought they were, it got to be a bunch of bullshit with them about 10 years ago, and they had to kind of really clean house, seriously, and they really have. They've done a good job. They've got some good channelers over there. I think who else I like. Oh, there's this one kid who does one. He's really good too, and I can't think of his damn name. I just can think of Blair and Tanhanen and Reva right now, and of course Mira. I've been listening to Mira for 155,000 years. No, probably about, I don't know, since before she was on the Earth Council with the Pleiadian Council. When she was just on the Pleiadian Council, so it was a long time ago. Yeah, long ass time ago, when I started hearing her, and she's always been solid, But yeah, I really like those two, and Caitlin's good too, good young channeler, or whoever's doing her. Yeah, so and even the Andromedan ones they got too are good, like Zook. It's a good character. The two Arcturian ones they have are good. Yeah, there's one too that's really good. It's an Arcturian masculine, or an Andromedan masculine. I can't think of his name. What the hell is his name right now? I can't think of it. That's how the Andromedans fly under the radar, even though they got a lot of power, like as much as anybody. They kind of just fly under the radar, They're just kind of whatever. They're there, right? They don't have to worry about nothing. I mean, nobody's going to sweat them. Yeah, but they just kind of wisdom, but they're not real flashy. Of course, I still maintain. I don't care what anybody says. I still maintain, because of what I know. I still maintain that the Arcturians and the Andromedans, they're just about the same too. But the mindset has changed, because they never were as societies together, but their roots are exactly the same. I mean, exactly. Not a different people involved, or some of the same people involved in each, because that goes on everywhere. But no, I think they're the same thing. I really do. But it's just their personalities have changed, of course, because that was, good God, 6 septillion years ago, probably. Who knows? But, we all know at the end of the day we're all one with the creation source flow, right? We're all just one body when we wake to full consciousness, right? We know that, but, I'm a geek. I'm interested in the semantics of this Jesus Christ, this is quintillion year journey, double, whatever comes now, septillion. I've never even had to think about it before, and I'm not a scholastic idiot too much. But septillions, sextillion, I don't know, and then octillion at 8. I don't remember 7 would be, but Septillion. Who knows? But that many years ago, man, if you were to put it in Earth terms, probably it happened so long ago you couldn't take your lifetime to spit out the number if you were to do it by digits, and yet it probably happened just a nanosecond ago because, like the Sun Orb said the other night from Alcyone, hey, in the beginning there was nothing, and then something came from nothing. Only problem is there was never nothing because there was always something. Yeah, it's true. It's very profound. Very, very, very profound. Yeah. It just always was, right? It's what it's done is it's expanded, right? In our small little young universe, doing that, right? Who knows what's going on in the others? Maybe they're all always expanding, but some of them most of them are way, way ahead of we are. They've journeyed far out there. Just who knows? It's endless, right? Just infinity. I think that's a hard thing for people to understand sometimes is when, you bring up the fact that it probably never began, really. It just always was. I think, and I did too. I used to. I think, well, God, wouldn't there have to be an ending? I guess it was the one last thing sometimes when I was younger, even because I really didn't have I don't call my UFO contacts my awakening. I was born awake, and I just didn't have UFO contacts. You know what I mean? Yet. So anything that woke me up was shit I've seen off planet. Nothing here surprised me at all. I mean, I already figured it all. Long fucking since. Probably when I was could talk. But yeah, who knows? I mean, really, we know, but the older I get and the more I do the research, the more I realize I don't really know anything. For sure. I mean, I get confirmed shit all the time to me, but I mean, who knows? I guess that's part of the game, though, Locken, huh? That's part of the adventure, is figuring it all out, right? Or trying to and keeping an open mind all the time. That's like me. I know what I know, and I'm very fucking, steadfast in that. If I know it, I'm steadfast in it, but I'm open to hearing anything, right? I'll listen to somebody who wants to tell me that, I play the role model all the time with people. Play the role model all the time. As arrogant as I can seem, I play the role model all the time. Oh, really? Yeah, and because they could be right. They could be right. They may be right, and I may be completely fucking off my rocker, which is probably the case. But, it is what it is, and yeah, a little technical difficulties with the guru tonight. Right. A lot of light codes hitting. I mean, that's the kind of thing I'm hung up on is this frequency when we, move more towards telepathy, which we are. It's going to be the light. We're going to start hearing light, though. That's when we're going to start hearing the different colors of light, and we'll be able to hear it and know what the hell light we're around, And what we're going to do is we'll look into that light, right? And that light is going to show us, through telepathy, it's going to show us if it's something really it's important, or it's a bunch of stuff. You'll probably start being able to see light codes in it and stuff like that, like codes, like symbols and stuff. If it was something simple, really a quick one-liner, the light itself will probably just do it and spurn that thought in you. But if it's something you need to know, right, it'll probably be, you'll start seeing eventually, well, I don't know in this existence if we will, but eventually humanity will. You'll start seeing light codes and symbols come out of the light itself. And sometimes that light code may just be a blink in a certain way, right? Like the UFOs do. Sometimes they'll just flag each other down up there. They'll blink back at each other. And it's not that they're trying to screw with people on the planet down here. They're doing things and, maneuvering around and shit. They're not up there. But sometimes they do. They're funny. They got a good personality. Sometimes they're down. They would, I could see the Pleiadians totally doing that, messing with somebody who's flashing lights and shit down, and some guy looking around, and oh God, he keeps seeing lights, and he keeps going back in the house. And Ethel, get out here! Ethel, come here, and look at this. And then Ethel comes out, and nothing happens. Ethel goes back in the house, right? And okay, here we go. Blink. But then they have a heart. Then they might show old Ethel. Don't look, Ethel, don't look. Yeah. They might show her after a while, but yeah, I could totally see them doing that. But typically, they're busy. They're not fucking around, flashing, they're not up there with a cosmic flashlight, unless they're trying to get a hold of you specifically, and I've had that happen, but, typically not, just to, mess with people. they're not 100% perfect too. So they're not, when they're on their mission, they're not thinking about the fact that blinking lights back at each other is gonna, fucking disturb the goddamn planet. I mean, God, call the police. There's some fucking lights in the sky. Jesus Christ, shoot like like those guys in Iran that were shooting at the orbs. Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. That's pretty productive. Yeah, bringing a toothpick to a machine gun fight. Yeah. Anyway, this is Rockin' Larry Locken, and I am out like a trout. Yeah.